And we're back with a brand new edition of the Screen Team. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. The Screen Team is all brought to you by Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us. Also, Poplar, Bluff Drywall, and Fearless Social. We're being joined by the man himself, Mr. Ginger Avenger. Kadam, sir, good to see you, my friend.
How you doing?
First off, how was your New Year, man? Did you have a good New Year?
It was pretty good. Tried not to fall asleep, I'm getting older. Falling asleep at like 9, then waking up not realizing it's the next day.
Yeah. It's going to be a big 2016 for you, because I hear that you're going to walk down the aisle and get married. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. October 22nd to this lady right here beside me. It's probably going to kill me sometime soon.
Emily, are you excited about the big nuptials between you and the Ginger Avenger?
I don't know. Stuck with him forever. It's kind of a long...
Love you too.
That's
long,
a long time.
time.
That is a long time. So you guys are here. We're going to be reviewing some movies, and we're going to be doing 3 Johnny Depp films. 2 of them were with Tim Burton, and then a new one that came out in 2015 called Black Mass. We'll be reviewing The Corpse Bride, also Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
We're going to be doing that one as well. Before we get into the movies, I want to know more about you guys and your movie habits. Kate, we know a lot about you. You like the comic book Marvel nonsense, but what do you like? What are some of the stuff you like?
I am honestly just mostly a ridiculous Tim Burton fan.
Okay.
I can't ever find anything bad to say about anything Tim Burton.
I can, but that's for another story.
And Johnny Depp, throwing Johnny Depp into the mix just makes it ridiculous. You can't get any better than that.
That is very cool. I got to ask you something else. This next item is, I thought, very, very cool as well. I've been trying to get this guy to see the Star Wars movies for like ever, and he just won't do it. But he told me that you got him to see the Star Wars movies. How did you do that?
So I have a Chewbacca collection in our bedroom.
Okay.
And I was like, really, Kadam, you can't have Chewie staring at us while we sleep, and you have never seen these movies. Seriously, like, he watches us sleep and you've never seen any of his movies? That's unheard of. Who's never seen Star Wars and has Chewie watching them sleep? Really.
So now when Chewie watches you, he watches you with a nice smile now, right?
A bit of pride and some honor.
He's proud now.
The Corpse Bride is our first movie this evening. It was directed by Tim Burton. It stars Johnny Depp. And this is not your typical regular movie because it's an animation film. Is it strictly CGI or is it claymation?
It's claymation.
Yeah,
claymation. More of a claymation type of animation. Why was this, besides loving Tim Burton, why did you want to do this one tonight?
This one is kind of the ultimate love story, even more so than the Nightmare Before Christmas. The fact that all of the characters are willing to make sacrifices for each other, barely even knowing each other, they're willing to make such sacrifices.
Johnny Depp's character, and his name is Victor Van Dort. He is kind of, what is the word?
Dorky.
He is dorky.
Slinky.
He's all those things, but he's also obliged to marry somebody else for money, right? It's a set-up marriage. Victoria. Victoria is played by Emily Watson, and she is very prim and proper, but shy. Both of these guys are very, very shy, and they have a very hard time of telling each other what they feel for each other. And even though they haven't met each other, they both kind of like each other. They're like, hey.
What's up?
I kind of like you. You're kind of dorky, but, that's okay.
Let's go watch Star Wars where Chewbacca looks at us.
But there's all these other side characters that are making their romantic courtship very difficult, right? You got Johnny Depp's parents in this film, and they're stressing on him to get the deal done. And you got her parents doing the same thing. So it's a very hard situation for these people. So we've got that set up. What happens to Johnny Depp where he meets the Corpse Bride? How does he meet her?
He is stumbling around in the woods trying to figure out how to be less awkward to actually get the girl, the right girl, the living girl.
Yeah.
Stumbling around trying to figure out who he is and how to be not so awkward, and he awkwardly meets the Corpse Bride.
He's practicing his vows, right?
Yes.
and he basically asked the corpse bride to
accidentally to marry him.
Yeah.
Practicing to marry the right girl, he marries the wrong girl.
So she accepts, and they end up in like Beetlejuice land or something. And it's like the living dead area of the afterlife, and there's a lot of crazy characters in this. And
but the best part about the whole entire movie is how sad actual life is and how colorless. And then he comes to the afterlife, and it's just like a big party. He's only awkward because he's just now getting there. He's never been there before, and he's obviously not dead, so it's going to be awkward to try to fit in with the dead.
Yeah.
But it's so much happier. They can drink and play and party, and it's not as boring as life had been.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something
stale.
I forgot about that, because in the living world, you're right. It's black and white and
black
dreary,
and white and gray and very drab and dull, and he doesn't fit in, and neither does his supposed to be wife.
Yeah. Kadam, Corpse Bride, man, are you a fan of this?
It's like a flip of the coin kind of thing. I have to when she's around.
Yeah,
but
if you and I were talking, you'd be like, man, this movie's terrible.
Yeah, it's like a love story, he gets the girl, the classic scenario.
Yeah.
Then you throw in a dead chick and, some lively dead creatures. But I've always been a fan of the claymation. Mm-hmm. It's one of my biggest things. Anything animation. I like cartoons, Marvel comics, that kind of thing. And Tim Burton, the way he completely blows everything out of proportion. You're a big guy in life, such as me. Mm-hmm. You're going to be a human bowling ball in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're a skinny guy with a big nose or something, your nose is going to be smelling Antarctica or something. But other than that, the love story, it was good. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those prediction guys. I predicted what's going to happen when I first saw it. So I just kind of sat back and, it's a good movie, honey.
So what was it that kind of put you off a little bit? Was it was it the fact that it was a love story? Was it the music that was in it? What are some of the things that put you off?
It was more of the generic kind of love story. Mm-hmm. He tries to go after one girl, then something happens, and then he's still trying to bust through it and still get the girl. But, in the end of the movie, he gets the girl and that kind of thing. But, the dead one kind of realizes, I got to sacrifice my happiness for them to be happy, which is, one of the most respected things to do. That's takes a big heart for somebody that probably doesn't have a heart. Yeah. But
so are you a fan of the music in this?
I love the music in this.
Do you?
Of course I love the music in this because Tim Burton. And it's a lot like Nightmare Before Christmas, and as you know, that's my favorite movie of all time. So I have to like the music in this. They're just so closely related that there's no way I couldn't.
I'm gonna say something to you, and you're gonna hate me for it.
Am I gonna have to come over the counter?
You're gonna have to come over the counter. I love The Corpse Bride. I love it, but I love it a lot better than A Nightmare Before Christmas.
I can accept that though, because
okay.
No over the counter.
I think I understand why people like The Nightmare Before Christmas better for certain reasons, but I find that film to be a little bit kind of just boring to me. Where this one, it was just a little bit more interesting to me. It kind of, the pace was fun, and I liked a lot of the characters better than the previous film. So when it comes to those two films, I like to put this one in.
Well, this one has a lot more color in it, so of course it would draw your attention.
Oh,
feisty.
Let me ask you guys something. You guys have a little guy at home. Is this something that you guys would like him to watch, or is he a little too young for it?
He could watch this. He didn't watch it with us, but this was actually screen tested on children before it was mass produced. I don't know if, like Nightmare Before Christmas, they did that or not, but I know they did with this movie. That this is actually, even though there is a little bit of drinking in the land of undead. I don't know if you've caught that or not, but there's a drunk skeleton running around in the land of dead. Even though there was drinking and scenes like that, it wasn't too obscene for children. I mean, it's he wouldn't understand that at all, the drinking part of it, but even children older than him, I don't think it was unsuitable for them. It had a plot line that they could understand. they could learn things from it. I think it's okay for even children. Like I said, Tim Burton tested it on children before he released it.
I've got a confession to make. Luke, for some reason, Luke is into Halloween. He's into those scary type of, I know it's not scary, but like these weird type of, animation kind of stuff. And he watched this and he had a nightmare like the night after he watched it, because there was a scene where the hand like comes off the body and it's like, and he's like, the hand's coming to get me. I'm like, oh, okay, no more of this. We'll hide this. But he's still drawn to it. He loves this. He loves The Nightmare Before Christmas. He watched like, are you guys familiar with The Dark Crystal?
I've never seen it.
I've never seen that one.
Oh man, yeah.
For another day.
Yeah, that's not suitable for a 2-year-old, but that's for another story. Coming up after the break, we're going to review the movie Sleepy Hollow. We'll do that next on Today's Talk, KWOC.